If you're not aligned to the template right now, you've got to make that decision, a conscious decision, whether you align to it or whether you go against it. You can afford Haaland, you can afford Salah, whereas there's been seasons gone by where player prices were slightly more expensive, and the rank swings would have been far more severe in this case if you couldn't afford Haaland. So I just can't stress it enough that the template is really strong, and I'm someone, as you've seen with my team previously, that I like to conform to the template purely because I don't want to take too many risks at the start. I want to be with the pack. Despite conforming to the template, I've actually had a good start. And this comes on to my next point. And this is something that I really want to stress, because the template gets a bad press. EO gets a bad press in FPL circles, but I'm here today to tell you, actually, there's so much that you can do with the template. You think you've got a template player, and I'm being very careful here. I'm not saying template team, because I feel that a template team doesn't necessarily exist. I'm showing you on livefpl.net this thing which allows you to see combination ownership. Now, I could have showed you combination ownership last week only for the top 10K, but thankfully the owner of livefpl.net, Ragaboli, he's enabled it for multiple rank tiers. And then I thought to myself, what is the rank tier that people want to aspire to? I pick top 100K. So what I'm about to show you is how those template players that we saw that the legendary managers have, right, that as a combined ownership isn't as big as you think. Because you get this idea, people are like, oh, the template, everyone's got the template. No, everyone does not have the template in FPL. You've got to look at the combined ownerships. And I feel that even seasoned managers don't look at the combined ownerships. Once you look at the combined ownerships, you'll be able to leverage EO in such a way that you've never done before. So right now, check combined ownership. I'm going to pick a very template player. So let's pick Gabriel Jesus of Arsenal. So just get him there. There we go. Gabriel Jesus, selected him. And at the top, it should say 92.4% ownership. There we go. So he's a very high owned player. Let's pick another super high owned player, Haaland. Haaland and Jesus as a combined ownership in the top 100K. Look at that, 90%. So 10% of the top 100K do not own one or the other, right? They're 92% owned, 97% owned. Now I'm going to add to this mix Mohamed Salah, because Mohamed Salah is like the perma captain hero for many of the elite 100 and many seasoned managers. So let's chuck him in here. Mohamed Salah, only 60% ownership, which among the elite managers we saw he had like 90+% ownership. But look at this. With Mohamed Salah, that 90% combined ownership is now 56%. I'm going to chuck in another player here now. I want to put in Trent Alexander. So Trent Alexander, who again, he'll have a super high ownership among the legendary managers, but in the top 100K, only 74%, but that's still quite high, higher than Mohamed Salah. So if we now smash the combination button for those, so there we go. 47% own Jesus, Haaland, Salah, Alexander-Arnold as a combination in the top 100K. Let's add Cancelo into the mix. So combined ownership of Jesus, Haaland, Salah, Trent, and Cancelo. Let's smash that button there. 34.81%. So look at that. All these template players that we're worrying about that everyone has, actually, everyone doesn't have them. Pick two more. Chuck James into the mix and look at the top 100K combined ownership now. Drop to what? 22.95% in the top 100K. So I'm going to now chuck in another name just to make it even more interesting. And it'll be because I mentioned about triple ups, which are quite common. Luis Diaz, 63% individual ownership in the top 100K. Look at that. 16.35% of the top 100K own Diaz, James, Cancelo, Trent, Salah, Haaland, and Jesus. I don't have to repeat myself here. There is no template team. There really isn't. Now, I want to just offer some clarification and say this is among the legendary managers. If there was an option to do this, I feel that this percentage of 16% would be a lot higher. And in other ranked tiers, it would be a lot lower. I want to say this very clearly, if I've not made my point, that don't be afraid to conform to template players, especially if they're in form, because when you look at the combined ownership, not a lot of people own them. That's the point I've proven here. I'll be honest with you, this is something that's appropriate for new managers and also seasoned managers. I wasn't really conscious to these combined ownerships until I using livefpl.net, and I don't have like a partnership with them. I'm just saying this because I found it massively beneficial. So the next time an FPL influencer talks about the template in a derogatory way, go to the combined ownerships, look at those players. Are they in form? And can you afford them?